I can remember as well, we used to borrow my dad's van, and like they detained us in the terminal, and we had like gunned guards watching us, and we had to stay in the terminal for 24 hours. I looked bloated. If you look at a picture of me now compared to then, I just looked bloated. And like the confidence that I've got now to walk on stage and wear tight t-shirts and stuff. I was always wearing jackets, never wear a white t-shirt, and like, whereas now I just feel confident in myself.
Right, the big dog, Dexter. We're in the building for a podcast. How we doing, bro?
Lovely to see you, mate. Lovely to see you.
And yourself, bro. That was a quality session this morning.
Yeah, it was class. Got the pump on now.
This boy's strong. Well, guys, welcome to the podcast. This is one of the first ones that we've done on YouTube. It's an absolute pleasure to be with the main man. Dexter, do you want to give yourself a little introduction?
Yeah, so I'm Dexter. I've been working with Matt now for, like 4 months? About 4 months. I'm also the bass player in the band called The K's. Check us out if you've not heard of us.
So a little plug, but this guy is an absolute geezer. Genuinely. Fantastic bloke outside the K's, and we're going to get to know Dexter a little bit more today. So, mate, obviously you're in the K's.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk just a bit about kind of life before the K's, bro. So we were speaking a lot earlier about kind of, you know, you've been going with Jamie for a long time now.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk to us about when you first started playing music?
So it kind of started, me and Jamie have known each other since we was like 4. We went into the same like nursery and primary school and went through primary schools together. They split us up when we got to high school because we was just unmanageable together. But we was really into the Arctic Monkeys when we was in primary school. And we did like a little project on Arctic Monkeys when we was kids and like always wanted to be in a band and stuff like that. But then when we got into high school, around year 10, it was like everybody in the year and everybody in the school just kind of wanted to be in a band, and like everybody was just like starting bands and stuff like that. So yeah, it kind of started then. I was actually asked to play bass in the K's by Jamie before I could play the bass guitar. So I just literally went around like down to a practice, picked up a bass guitar and was like told, yeah, that's a root note. Just playing the root notes. So yeah, I actually couldn't play guitar when I joined the K's.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah. We was dead young though. It was like, God, 14 or something like that. 14, 15.
That's mad. And you boys have known each other since you were
4.
That's
mad.
mad.
Best mate since we was 4.
That's incredible, mate.
Yeah.
Some journey then, bro.
Yeah, fucking hell. I don't know if you can swear or not, but yeah.
Mate, you can swear all you want, bro.
Some journey that, yeah. We've done some things, me and him.
It's a good life though, man.
Good and bad.
It's a good life though, mate.
Yeah.
So when was the first time you boys decided to start making music together?
So I think, like I say, we was in and out of bands when we was in high school and stuff like that. And like, you know, we did little recordings and stuff, had EPs out and things. But then in 2017, the band, we kind of stopped playing and stopped putting music out. And then in 2017, Jamie rung me up and he was like, listen, I've been speaking to Ryan. And we knew of Ryan because he lived down the road from me. We used to play football with him. And he used to play in other bands as well in the school. Like I say, everybody was in bands and stuff. And he's like, I've been speaking to Ryan at a party. Do you fancy getting the K's back together? He wants to be the guitarist. Let's have another crack at it. And I was like, yeah, definitely. So we ended up like booking a practice room that week. And then we wrote Sarajevo in that first practice. And it's like still our biggest song. That was 2017.
That's incredible, man.
Yeah.
When we came here, the guy said to you about Sarajevo straight away.
Yeah. And like that was in our first band rehearsal. Obviously, Jamie had the lyrics and the chords and stuff. In our first band rehearsal with Ryan in the K's and like this fresh start for the K's in 2017, we wrote what's still our biggest song.
That's mental.
Mad that, innit?
And you said about making the K's again. So when did the name the K's come about?
In high school, there was a band called the Kaleidoscopes. And then after Kaleidoscope Records in St Helens, which was a record shop in St Helens, and then there was already a band called the Kaleidoscopes that was kind of doing well, so that got shortened to the K's. And then Jamie got asked to sing in the K's. None of us are original members. Jamie got asked to sing in the K's, and then like a couple of months later, Jamie said, "We've no bassist anymore, do you want to join?" And then I joined and started learning the bass when we was kids. So not one of us is an original member of the original K's.
That's incredible, man. Some story, bro. When did you boys realise you could turn this into a career? How old were you and when was it?
I think we've always kind of wanted it to be a career, but it's always like a pipeline dream, isn't it? When you're in a band, there's that many people that do it, and like in 2017 when we released Sarajevo, it got playlisted loads, which meant it got thousands and thousands of streams and plays, which then built us up on socials, and then which allowed us to start selling more tickets. And I think through that success, we was like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, we didn't expect it. So yeah, that song just did really well, got playlisted and got loads of plays, and then we just started putting shows on in Manchester, and like we were selling out all the shows, and then it was like, oh, well, we'll go to a bigger venue then, and then that sold out, and then we'll go to a bigger venue, and then I think that's when we thought, Jesus, we might have a good crack at the whip here.
That's mad. What was your first time like going to a venue like that in front of thousands of people? How did that feel to have thousands of people in front of you?
It was empowering, actually. I think because as well, he'd had like, back then we'd had like a couple of pints before you go on stage. So there was that like Dutch courage as well. But it's quite empowering. It's like energetic. Like, it's not so much, it's nerves, but in a good way. And then as soon as you feel the crowd and the screams and the energy, that just like transposes onto you then, and you're absolutely buzzing for it. The seconds before you walk on stage, you're a bit nervous, but then as soon as you walk on and you hear that eruption of the crowd, it's just like energetic.
I was starstruck when I went to, I was a mascot for a football game at Chelsea, and I walked out in front of 40,000 people, and it felt like I'd been flashbanged on Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's like disorienting. Yeah.
Yeah, but I imagine you're just used to it by now, right?
Definitely with the live performances, like that, live shows, definitely. It's like just another kind of day at work now, because we've been doing it for so long. But like those experiences that you talk about, then where you feel a bit like it's your adrenaline, isn't it? I get that. I get that when we're like live on telly.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple of like live interviews on BBC Northwest and BBC One and stuff, and we did a live performance on Soccer AM. We've done 2 actually. And that's when, because you know that you can't mess up because it's live on telly, that's when you kind of like, fuck, Yeah, I felt that disorientating anxiety.
It's a mad life though, because a lot went into this band. You said you weren't making a profit for a long time. I imagine there was probably a lot of times that you could have given up in the early stages of it.
Of course, yeah, of course. It's like when you're starting out, it's all self-funded, isn't it? Until you can get to the point where you're selling enough tickets for it to be turning over a profit. So like, yeah, the first couple of years, it was just like an expensive hobby, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can remember as well, we used to borrow my dad's van to take all the equipment to the shows. And we borrowed his van once to go and play in Manchester. And like, we've just got off stage, put the gear back in it, gone home, dropped it off, dropped my dad's van off. And my dad rung me the next day. He was like, have you moved my drill? I've not touched anything. Why? I was like, none of my tools are in this van. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, there's no tools in this van. As it got robbed last night, and it got robbed whilst we was on stage. About £2,000 worth of tools.
That's mad.
Yeah. So yeah, it cost us a bit. Thankfully, my dad just kind of said, I'll sort it out. Don't worry about it.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, it's been an absolute rollercoaster for you boys.
Oh yeah, there's been so many ups and downs. So many ups and downs. I think everything happens for a reason, though, and every time it's been a down, it's been for a reason.
Yeah. What would be your advice to someone who's, let's say, between the age of 16 and 20, and it's not necessarily even going into music, but on the verge of a big decision in their life? Because obviously me and you have been through the grind and building stuff when the cards are against you. Like, what's your advice to someone in that scenario where they don't feel like they can make it at the minute, but they can see the vision?
I think you just kind of got to crack on, haven't you? It's almost like just buckle. If you believe in something, if you truly believe in something and you truly want that for yourself, like you say, for your business or like the band, then you've kind of just not got to stop, no matter how bad things get, no matter how good things get. So like, if you're starting up a business or you're thinking of starting a business up, there's going to be points where you're probably going to lose money. You might be in debt, or, you're not making enough money for it to be sustainable, and you have to have a different income. Yeah. And it's just about thinking, well, if I have to get a different income, I'm not going to give this up. I'm just going to get another income until this works out. It's about not giving up, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, just, you've got to put a couple of years in for something to grow to the point where it's sustainable, haven't you?
Yeah. I think you need to have faith in the goal, because, people who really make it just for a long time were knocking on the door and never made it, but they had this faith in the bigger target. So
of course,
you just got to really believe in the bigger picture. You've got to visualize what it's going to be like. Because I'm sure when you were 16, 18, you probably, even though you didn't believe it, you probably still visualized going on stage and what it could be like.
Yeah, of course. It's that law of attraction sort of thing as well, isn't it? You picture it and you vision it and stuff. But yeah, I used to think all the time, like when we played a venue in Manchester, for example, when we played Gorilla, we looked across the road and there's the Ritz, which was 1,500, and I think Gorilla was capped at 500 tickets. And as soon as that sold out, it was like, what's next? Right, that's the next step. That's 1,500. We're going to sell that out, and that just kind of never stops. And like, I still think that now. Like, I always think like, well, when we're going to get our first arena, when we're going to play our first arena as not a support band and it be our show, and like thinking of all those things. What's next?
Was there anyone who made a big impact for you guys? Because I know I've had mentors in the past. Obviously, you've had Jamie, but was there anyone that saw you under their wing and really helped you or like led the way for you?
There's loads of people, yeah. There's loads of people. So Dave, our manager, I absolutely love him. He's such a nice guy, and he's, you know, when you can tell somebody's got your best interests. You meet loads of people in this industry that you think have got your best interests when they've, you know, it's solely just money and getting their percentage. Whereas Dave, I do think, shout out Dave CP, I do think that he's got our sole best interests and we trust him. And he's helped us massively with decisions and making the right decisions and helping us navigate the industry, because it's, you know, it's quite, you know, complex and stuff, the way that you can do things and whatnot. So definitely Dave, and as and Solo Music Agency as well, John Giddins and Charlie, they're our booking agent. And they believed in us when we was really young. They took us under the wing, and they was like, you know, we're going to help you make it. You know, and they get us all. They book all our shows and all our supports and stuff like that. So they've helped us grow massively. And then Lab Records as well. Mark Orr, can't miss him out. He gave us the record deal for the first album, which Dave helped us navigate as well, which has worked out, you know, perfect for us. So shout out to them for believing in us and, you know, investing in us, because it's all coming to fruition now and we're all dead happy and we can all sit and drink and celebrate. So yeah, big shout out to those.
Defo, bro. And we'll get on to kind of how you started surrounding yourself within people, because I feel like for me, the only way I've made it as a business owner is by surrounding myself with people ahead of me, or people who have my best interests at heart. So when I was going from PT to online coaching, I had probably about $2,000 in my bank at this point. I'd invested $5,000 into a mentor. And then I went and got a physique coach, and I was almost bankrupt at that point.
Yeah.
And that's when you've got ultra faith in the goal happening. I just believed in the vision of it. And on paper, I was bankrupt. But because I had the right people in my corner, technically I wasn't bankrupt, because the currency is the people that are around you. So obviously we've had these great people in our life that people don't really see the build of where that comes from. What would be your advice to someone who's in maybe the wrong crowd and they need to start surrounding themselves with the right people?
I think you just you're a product of your environment, aren't you? So whatever environment you put yourself in, you're then going to become a product of that environment. So if the people around you aren't aligning with what you want for yourself, you know, then and what you want to achieve, then you're not going to have a very good chance of succeeding or achieving what you need to if you're surrounded by people that are bad influences or just aren't aligned to the goals that you want. So I can imagine for yourself, like when you brought the coach, like the mentor on and stuff like that, and you brought the physique coach, that's everything to do with what you wanted to achieve. Whereas if you was in the pub with your mates, having a couple of pints, talking about your dream, you know, which is the more productive? You know, it's bringing somebody on that's going to help you and benefit you, or just sitting with the people that ain't really aligned with your goals and what you want to achieve. I've been there as well, where you just kind of like in the wrong crowd and stuff like that, and you don't think about the future. You've got to set yourself goals, haven't you?
You need to. You know, there's two ways that I could have gone in that scenario. Let's say I had $5,000 in my bank, I could invest the $5,000 into a mentor and put my back against a one. Now I've got no money and I've got to listen to his advice and do what he does. Or I can piss up the $5,000 and go to IB for the lads. And it's like most people take the easy option and the dopamine option is like instant dopamine. But that's the difference. Is in that scenario, it's actually having the faith to back yourself and put your money where your mouth is. Because whenever I've invested money into me, it's always paid off. Not always short term, but I'm sure the similar thing for you, because it took a long time to build to where you are now, but it took a lot of investment as well, right?
Of course it has, There's been loads of times when I've been skint. Loads of times. But you kind of just, you know, it's coming. And eventually, if you've invested in the right people, the right things, and you know, then it's going to come to fruition, isn't it? Whereas it's much more easier to just think, you know what, let's go beef with the lads. Let's go and have a good time. But
I mean, enjoy our beef though. You got to have a good time with the lads as well, though, right?
Yeah, of course. But I think in life in general, you've got to have sacrifices, haven't you? There's got to be some form of hardship for there then to be something, you know,
makes it
worthwhile. Yeah, of course. Nothing's going to come easy. Nothing comes easy.
It's like your dieting phase. We'll come on to your fitness in a bit. Now, the more you sacrifice it, ends up going really well. But we'll come on to the fitness side of stuff in a little bit. So I want to speak a little bit about kind of how you started making it and then kind of the benefits you've got from that. So let's speak about the countries you've been to.
Yeah.
What's the best country you've been to on tour?
It's a difficult one, actually. I enjoyed Texas and America because it was complete different. Like, I'd never experienced. Like, America itself, it's just different when you get there, isn't it? The culture and everything around it. So that was different. I really enjoyed Stockholm. Stockholm was class, dead clean. Everything was just dead efficient. People was lovely. Food was great. I enjoy going to Spain. We go to Spain a couple of times a year and play festivals. We're going over next week. Trying to think.
Whereabouts in Spain are you going to?
So we played Benicassim. I actually don't know where it is. I just know the festival. It's like a big festival, isn't it? So we play Benicassim and then another festival just down the road. I don't know whereabouts in Spain it is.
You know, something I think's outstanding about Dexter. I speak to a lot of his fans who come onto our page because he shouts us out all the time. And his fans always say to me that he always goes up and speaks to them everywhere he goes. And I think that's a big reason why you built the audience you have, because you get involved with your fans. And it's like, I had an ex-client speak to me a week ago and I was giving him loads of advice and he's not paying me. And he was like, Matt, I'm so grateful you're doing this for me when I'm not with you. I'm like, it's just my passion. I love speaking to you. I think that's something that people could embody from yourself, is just like having the willingness to go out there and speak to people. Like you said to me earlier, you could go to someone on the street and speak to someone for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I'll chew everybody's ear off whenever I see them. That's my problem. That like the lads will say to me, "Come on, Dexter, we need to be somewhere," but someone stopped and spoke to me, and I'll see that conversation to the end, and they'll be like, "Come on, we're late," and I'm like, "I'll see you later." I'll talk to anyone, me.
That's incredible though, because word of mouth spreads, mate, and you don't think it does, but it really does, and that's the way I've built my business, is through word of mouth. But like I've had probably about 10 people tell me about how friendly you are, and that's just telling me. Imagine all their friends and family they're telling about that, and they start listening to your music. The word spreads. Like word of mouth is so powerful, bro.
I still find it unusual. Like, I'm just a regular lad from Earlstown. I still find it unusual that people would say that I'm inspirational. You know, like, or they'd say like, "Oh, you know, Dexter," or like they want to make a beeline and say hello to me because I'm in this band. To me, that's still like, I'm just a fucking idiot from Earlstown. If I'll have a chat with you if you want, like, so yeah, it's still unusual for me, like, to be approached by people and for people to be like, "Oh, Dexter." It's like, yeah, it's mad.
That's why people like you though, mate, because you're normal.
Yeah,
you're not putting this persona
well, I wouldn't
on.
say normal, like, but if you got to know me, I'm fucking far from normal.
Well, you're not putting a persona on though, bro. You're just yourself, man. I think that's why people come to you straight away, mate. And you know, I think it's incredible what you guys are doing, and I'd love to know what the future holds for you guys. What's the vision for yourself?
I think now the vision is to get into different territories. So like Europe, America, Australia, Japan, Asia. I think that's the next kind of step over the next few years, is just to try and grow them markets. Like the UK, we sell tickets up and down the UK. We do pretty well on album sales in the UK. So like we've kind of got this country locked now. So for it to expand, it's got to go to other territories. So I think that's what's to expect really now. That's what's coming. We've just signed with a new booking agent in America. So hopefully we can get back over there and do some more shows over there. And yeah, just growing those different territories around the world.
100%, mate. I think something's powerful as well is one of my ex-clients who might be listening to this, Zach, shout out yourself, mate. He went to 3 of your concerts in a row, and I just find it fascinating.
Shout out Jack, legend.
Zach. Absolute legend, Zach is. But like, I think it's just so powerful, the cult-like following you guys have built. I coach a lot of coaches, and I say to them, you just need to build a cult-like following. I just think you guys don't even know that you've built it. You do, but you don't realise how big of a cult it is.
Yeah. Like you said, you built yours off like word of mouth and stuff like that, and it's kind of the same with us, whereas we just go to different places and put a show on. It's like the first shows are like 50 tickets, and like you're travelling 200 miles to a different place in the country and playing. It might only be 30 people there, you know. But because we did that so often, up and down the country, eventually, those first 30 people went and told their friends, "Oh, we liked that, it was good." And then next time we was there, that turned to 60 people. And then, so from like 2017 onwards, that's all we did. It was just like going round and playing these shows. And it could have been to like 100 people, it could have been to 50. You know, in Manchester, it was like 500, 1,000. So that's kind of like what you do. It's like word of mouth, isn't it? You've got to put yourself out there.
Yeah, 100%. It's very inspirational, mate. Before we dive into the fitness side of things, might take you a second to think about this, but what's something you can say on air as well? What's the craziest experience that's happened on tour to you boys or yourself?
There's probably too many, and there's probably ones that I shouldn't speak about, but there is one in particular. When COVID happened, we got booked to play, where was it? think it might have been, it was Sweden. And the promoters, they were putting a festival on in Sweden. The promoters had apparently, gone through all the COVID regulations. Things had opened back up and stuff. It was probably 2021 or 22. And we ended up flying over to Sweden. We landed in the Swedish airport and we'd had a couple of beers and we was like, going to go to the pub when we got there and stuff like that. And we got stopped and they was like, if you've flown from the UK, you're not allowed in the country because of COVID. And like they detained us in the terminal. And we had like gunned guards watching us and we had to stay in the terminal for 24 hours before they sent us back on a flight home. And like the Swedish king was like onto our book. It was like our booking agent at the time said that he knew the Swedish king and like he was trying to get this royal pardon and we was just stuck in this terminal. Like there was just one toilet, that was it. And 24 hours on a terminal airport was rough.
That's mad. What was going through your mind in that time?
And we just couldn't believe it. We was like, everything had been cleared. Why have we been detained? I don't know. There was this woman that had stopped us, and I don't know if it's because we was rowdy or what. And like after 24, it went in the news and everything. It was on the Swedish newspapers and telly and everything. Band detained in the airport, supposed to be playing this festival, and we're just in this fucking. We was playing football. We rolled up socks. We was that bored. We was just literally 24 hours in a room, probably twice the size of this, with a gun guard. And like they said, we'll go McDonald's for you and we'll get you, some supplies whilst you're here for so long. And we was like, we're not paying for this. The promoter's defo paying for this. We'll have 500 cigs, 20 Big Macs. And they come back with all these cigs and Big Macs.
That's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And I know you boys are really good mates because you grew up together, which I think is incredible. But what goes on with you guys outside of music? What do you boys get up to? Because you obviously spend quite a bit of time together. What would a day in the life look like for you boys together?
We enjoy going to the gym together, to be fair, especially when we're on tour. Me and Ryan go to the same gym when we're at home as well. So like that's kind of like the morning routine. Like wake up, what time do you want to go to the gym? Go to the gym, have a steam, have a sauna, and then just go about your day. We like to play squash. Have you ever played squash?
I love squash, mate. I'll give you a game one day.
Sick, innit?
I'll give you a game. Do you play padel?
No, I've never played it.
I've not played it either, but
no, it looks good though, doesn't it?
That is a cult. People are literally just flying towards that.
Yeah. It does look good though. You see the videos, don't you, of them playing? It's like squash class crossed with table tennis and whatnot and badminton.
I've got a very addictive personality, so I know if I get hooked into padel, it's going to become my personality.
Yeah, same. That's what it was like with squash. It was going all the time playing squash. So squash, gym, Nando's. The lads love Nando's. I like it. It's all right, but they fucking love Nando's. So we're always go there. I'm just trying to talk about things that we do as a band together. Like they're the sort of things that we would do other than go in the pub as well.
I think that's inspirational. You guys are a band, and it would be so easy in that environment. Like everyone's drinking at all your shows to get hooked up into that culture. Yeah. I know you were in that 5-10 years ago. So how did you transition away from the unhealthy lifestyle into fitness?
I think we had to be honest with you. Like when you start off, we was young as well. Don't forget it was like 21, and like all of a sudden had like a little bit of success, and like going to shows and having riders, which is like beers full of fridges full of beer, and we was like, we don't need to pay for that, so we just like drink it. we kind of got all. I think this is again. I think everything happens for a reason. We kind of got all of that out of our system in the first like 2-3 years, and then. Especially for Jamie as well, because he's got to maintain his voice, which is like a fucking key thing in the band, isn't it? So like when he noticed that his voice was getting sore and tired because he's been drinking or smoking, staying up late, he was very self-conscious that he needs to maintain his voice and look after his voice health. So he's got like a voice doctor now that he meets up with regularly and really, really looks after it. Kudos to him, like he does well with it. So I think that kind of transaction as well to him being focused on that, so he can't drink, he has vocal rest, big warm-ups, big warm-downs. And I think because of like the growth of the band as well, it kind of had to go down a professional route because there's people watching who we want on board, especially before the success that we've had. It was like anybody could be watching here, anybody, people that we need, labels, everybody. Like, so it had to go professional, if you understand what I mean. Yeah. I think it's like anything. If you want to make and succeed in something, you can't do it just being Larry and drunk and being hedonistic. You've kind of got to think that if I want to make this me living, it's got to be professional. So we kind of turned that corner a couple of years ago and focused on that.
That's inspirational how you guys support each other through it, because I didn't directly reach out to you. I reached out to Jamie.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
He obviously wants the best for you because he put me straight onto you, and off the back of that, you've made a big transformation. So that's evidence of what we were speaking about earlier when we said the people you surround yourself with is massive. And obviously, Jamie's been a massive influence in your life.
Of course, yeah. I can't thank you both enough. Like, the confidence that I've got now and the path that I see myself on is completely different. Because at first I was like struggling with, like, I'd try and lose weight and then I wasn't dieting right, you know, I'd do a bit of exercise, fall off the wagon, straight back on, you know, eating crap and drinking and stuff. And Jamie was saying to me, because he's had a PT for a while now, and he was saying, you need to get on a PT, you need to get on this PT. And he was trying to put me onto his PT. And I was like thinking of the money and stuff like that. And then you messaged Jamie, and then he was like, he put you straight onto me, and I was like, fucking definitely, I'm well up for it. I well want to work with you. Yeah, and it was just the best thing that happened to me in the past 12 months.
Right, my man. Very interested to hear this, because I feel like I'm going to learn some stuff about you here, bro. So let's talk about growing up and training and fitness, mate. If you want to talk to me about kind of school or college, any like specific memories you have of fitness or training growing up?
Fitness, I suppose it was just playing football. I had, you know, it was actually Jamie, the singer's dad, was our football manager. Newton B. So played football throughout my childhood. Wasn't very good. Was always on the bench, got 5 minutes at the end. And then there was a point when I turned a corner where I did used to get like a game. I think it's because I had a bit of a growth spurt and I could kick the ball quite far then. So it was like I was on the pitch to take the corners and the goal kicks and stuff. And I was on the wing. So I played football. My dad religiously dragged me out of bed every Saturday or every Sunday whenever a game was. And I went and played for Newton B with Jamie and his dad all the way through up until I was about, in high school. I kind of stopped in later high school when you find alcohol and girls. So yeah, played football, and I can remember as well, one of the biggest things that was like, and I could tell it was good fitness, and I only think this now going back, was we used to play manhunt. Did you ever used to play manhunt when you was a kid?
I've never heard of it.
You never heard of manhunt?
No.
So you'd have like somebody that was on, and then like there'd be a group of your mates, and we used to go on the local golf course. I shouldn't say this because my granddad's the captain of the golf club, but we used to bomb it over the golf course, and like you basically the person who's on has to like turn around, and then everybody else goes and hides, but in like a vast like woods, or the golf course in our case, and like to get caught you had to be tagged by the person that was on, but then you became on. So like we was just fucking running for hours trying to get, you know, like hiding in the woods and like getting chased, and you'd go home, and I can remember being laying in bed and getting cramp in my leg for like the first time, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, oh, what's this? So that was the main fitness when I was a kid, football and manhunt.
Love that, man. You were a little bit of a rebel growing up then.
Yeah, very much so.
And then in terms of the band, so like band fitness wise, it's been the last year you've took it seriously, but you're 29 now.
Yeah.
I mean, how was your fitness from like the age of 18 up to, let's say, 28?
So from the age of like 18 to 25, I was always quite slim, but at what I wanted, if you understand what I mean. Because when I got to 25, I didn't change anything, but all of a sudden you start getting a belly. You know, and start putting weight on. And I can remember, because my dad's a bricklayer, and I used to labour on him all the time. And I can remember, actually, I was 25, and I was in the pub, and my dad's mate was like, fucking hell, Dexter, you're getting a bit of a belly on you now, aren't you? And I was, do you know what I mean? But it just like turned from the age of 25. I just all of a sudden just started putting weight on, and I wasn't changing anything. I was eating crap and drinking.
Did you drop like your activity levels or anything?
No, I think it was just like that age where your metabolism changes or something.
You didn't change any eating habits or anything?
Well, I probably did start eating a bit more fast food because I could afford it, because obviously I'd started work then, and you get your full-time wage, whereas when you're a student and when you're at home, you just eat what your mum cooks, don't you?
Yeah, I think the tough part about that is when you're 25, it's like you've got a lot of responsibilities, and you were building your business a lot then, so to focus on health and fitness at that point was going to be really challenging for you then, because you were so focused on the business going up.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah. I think at that point as well, because we was playing in the band, and we wasn't really thinking about health, fitness and professionalism. It was just starting out, so it was just like travelling, eating takeaways, because you're at service stations or, you know, cities, and then drinking the rider that was free. So it was always like, oh, what are we having tonight, lads? Do you know what I mean? It was like a couple of cans was just standard. Yeah, and then obviously the food that comes with it. Whereas now it's like, not drinking tonight, we'll drink on this show next month. Mm-hmm. You know, when we'll all have a couple of drinks on that one show in a month's time as like a celebration. Mm-hmm. And everyone's looking at the calories and everything. Whereas back then it was just like a couple of cans and a kebab, or just like we was not thinking in that. We was not thinking.
Definitely. I think with that is you've got like, it's like a triangle. You've got three things to focus on. You've got your family, your relationships, then you've got your business, then you've got your health and fitness.
Yeah.
And you can't really pour into all three at once, because you start pouring into your health and fitness and suddenly you're not going out drinking with your mates anymore. But you pour into your health and fitness and you take a time away from your business. So back then you were just pouring straight into relationships with other people in your business, and health and fitness was getting completely left to one side.
100%. On my behalf anyway. I'm not speaking on behalf of the other lads. But yeah, 100%. I was not thinking at all. I thought it was indestructible. When you're 18 and you can eat what you want, and like, or when you're 21 and you can eat what you want and you don't put weight on, and you just think that you're going to maintain this level of fitness and energy that you've had since you was a teenager. Whereas then you get to a point where, like, I can remember going for a run, and I was like, this was like nothing when I was a kid. Yeah. And it just takes that turn, doesn't it? Yeah. You're not indestructible. Whereas when you're young and a teenager and early 20s, you think you still do what you want and get away with it, but you can't.
I hear it, man. And you've had a few injuries as well. Do you want to talk to us about them?
Yeah, so I've had a bit of a bad knee, from running, because I enjoy running. So, like, before I met you 12 months ago, I was trying to lose weight and I was doing a lot of running. And I did lose a bit of weight. I wasn't kind of monitoring it, and I wasn't really aware of, the level of nutrition that you need to be aware of if you want to lose weight effectively. So I was doing a lot of running. And then I just ended up with like a knee injury, and I couldn't shake it. I was just like, every time I went for a run, it was hurting. It was hurting for the weeks after it and stuff. And eventually I went from like running 12k, 10k every week to just not being able to run at all. And it was probably through like going too hard, too fast as well. Yeah. Because I was carrying quite a lot of weight, and then all of a sudden I'm just dove straight into running 5k, and then all of a sudden I was running 8k, and then I thought, I'm going to do 10k, and then I just didn't do the technique right, wasn't warming up, wasn't warming down.
Would you say it was the all or nothing mindset?
100%. That's what I'm like, as we've well known, mate, yeah.
Because I remember when I took you on, it was like, Matt, I'm going to train 6 days in a row, I'm going to run, train. Then you're like, my knees are aching, I'm like, just slow it down a little bit, we'll focus more nutrition.
Yeah, of course, yeah. You're a bit like that as well, though, aren't you? Just fucking hit everything head on and just try and do it all at once and stuff like that, and you can't be like that, can you?
100%. And that's why probably we've been successful, is we've got addictive personalities, and when we find something we love, we just go head first and attack it. But do you want to talk to us about where you were at briefly before you joined us? Because I know obviously I reached out to Jamie and you weren't in the best place at that point.
No.
Fitness-wise, do you want to talk to us about where you were at that point?
Yeah, so off the back of the knee injury, like, it was like summer last year, I was running loads and I'd lost a bit of weight. Not as much as I've lost now, but I'd lost a bit of weight, and then I had the knee injury. And then, like, went back to old habits. Quite gluttonous, all or nothing mindset again, isn't it? Like, because I love cooking as well. So, like, I was cooking every night, but I was making really nice meals which have got lots of hidden calories. You're using like oil, butter, all those sort of things, making like nice pies or fucking... I just like cooking. I actually enjoy cooking at home. I find it quite relaxing and therapeutic. So, like, I was making really calorific meals every night for me and the missus, and like just eating, and like that's where I found pleasure. And like obviously it made me balloon up. Yeah. So I put quite a lot of weight on.
So the daytime was like quite healthy for you, really. You were in a deficit through the day. You were doing the hard yards, really.
Yeah.
You were still training hard. Yeah. You're probably training as much as you are now, or in and around there.
Yeah.
You're trying as hard in the day, you just get to the evening and let your feet up a bit too much.
Too much, yeah, definitely. And like, I just enjoyed cooking, so every night it was like, what can I make? And it was never the healthy option. The thing that I think we should talk about is hidden calories, because you don't realise, do you, like, when you put in oil in a pan, or like you put in butter in a pan, or like all those little things that, so many calories in that you don't even think about.
You were saying about the nuts in the salad earlier as well.
Yeah. Like, so many calories in it.
Granted, you were being healthy, eating salads.
Yeah, and I was just chucking like loads of cashew nuts in it. It's the same. I used to make red Thai curry. I used to love making Thai curries. I'd put loads of cashew nuts on top of it. Yeah. And like, it's good, healthy fats, but there's lots of calories in it as well. which people don't realise.
Yeah, 100%, bro. So, mate, were you on the fence about anything? Because obviously you've probably been part in the fitness journey off a long time. I know you were thinking about working with PTs, but do you feel like you were on the fence about getting started with your fitness journey for a while?
Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely.
Okay. So if you're putting yourself in that position, because there's a lot of lads who watch this that I speak to all the time who are on the fence of a big decision in their life, what would you say to that person?
It's hard really, because there was a part of me where you think, you know what, can I be arsed with this level of accountability? And I think that's what a lot of people would be thinking as well. Like, can I be arsed putting, reporting back to somebody who's going to hold me accountable for it? And they'll think, oh, well, I won't be able to do that then.
You feel like that's just something in your brain, like, am I ready?
Yeah, exactly. Are you ready? Yeah, you're ready. And like, I wasn't ready when I first joined you. But then when you see the benefits, like, it was a rocky start at the start because I was on tour and stuff like that. We didn't have the level of accountability that we've got now. And like, I've seen some results, but not the best of results. And then when you put that level of accountability in, right, well, you tell me everything that you've had yesterday. You tell me how many steps, and obviously you know how much I train and stuff like that. And like, that then becomes addictive as well for me, because it's like, right, this is how many calories I've got. I'm going to smash it, and then I'm going to send it straight to you first thing in the morning. That's when you wake up in the morning, you think, right, boom, I've done yesterday. I've done 1,600 calories. I've got all my protein goals in it, and I'm fucking sending it to you. Boom.
Yeah.
And then you get a buzz off that. But that's quite scary when you've not worked with somebody like yourself before, especially for me as well. It used to like going for a pint, like having something nice to eat, and like a takeaway and stuff. That can be scary because you think, I'm not going to be able to do that anymore.
Well, it's like today, though. You're going out for a few pints, and I'm not going to chop your balls off for going for a few pints.
No, not at all. But people like, I know that I was like, oh, he's going to be pissed off. He's going to be pissed off. He's going to think that I'm not trying. So that can be quite scary. And I think people who like are thinking about joining up, maybe that's a worry that they've got. But I think if you truly want to achieve something, then that's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
You've got to just be accountable and just say, right, I'm fucking doing it, and do it.
I think people need to realise they're just in their own head. Like, your subconscious brain takes over 95% of your brain.
Yeah.
And it goes off of just beliefs and stories. So you were telling yourself, am I ready? Am I good enough? And because you were feeding that to your brain every day, you weren't ready.
Yeah.
Whereas the minute that flipped and you saw a little, like, you came into the coaching, you still weren't believing, but you saw a result. You saw yourself get leaner.
Yeah.
You said to me, I'm looking down and my stomach's leaner. I'm fitting better into clothes. Now your subconscious brain realises you are fucking ready.
Yeah.
And that's the flip.
Yeah. And like, the momentum that we've had over the past couple of weeks has been good, hasn't it? Granted, we've had an up and down over the past week or two. But it's just been like flying, absolutely flying. And
What do you think's made the biggest difference?
Accountability. If I'm honest with you, accountability. Because without that level of accountability, I know myself, I'd be like, oh, like if we was backstage, our rider is just full of like everything, because all the crew have it as well. Like, and I'd be like, oh well, there's a box of celebrations there, because I'm not sending you any accountability of what I'm having. I'm just telling you, oh yeah, that's how many calories I've had. You'd have like 2 chocolates, and like that, you wouldn't even think about it. Or you'd have a beer. Whereas when you've got that level of accountability where you know, I send you everything I've had the day before, don't I? And like, it almost becomes a bit of a competition. Like for me anyway, because I quite like a bit competitive but all or nothing mindset, and it's like, I want to send you that in the morning, and I want to know exactly what's gone in and what's coming out, and that's what's shown me the best results. Like,
Love that, man.
Knowing exactly what you've put into your body, and then sharing that with somebody else as well, and saying, this is what I've done. Even when I've fucked up, and you've been like, yeah, well, where have you fucked up? And I'll be like, well, I fucked up because I've done this, this, and this. And you've been like, well, yeah, that's fine. Tomorrow, you know now how to not fuck up. Whereas at first, I just wouldn't tell you that I'd fucked up, because you have this weird fucking fear, and I don't know why you have it, because at the end of the day, you're not going to be pissed off. It makes no fucking odds to you, does it?
It's your results at the end of the day.
Exactly, yeah. Whereas I'd be like, oh, fucking hell, I best not tell him.
Mad, I always say, I'm actually happy when my clients fuck up, because I say this is life. Like, I make a lot of mistakes in my life as well, so you make a mistake and then you respond and learn from it.
Yeah, of course. And that's when you get the best fucking reaction, isn't it, as well? The amount of times I've said to you, oh, fucking hell, Matt, I've done this, I've done that, you're like, so mate, don't worry about it. Yeah. Tomorrow, you're going to fucking better it.
You're the fucking man.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're like, fucking hell, I was really worried about telling him that, but fucking hell, he just spurred me on now. I'm going to smash it tomorrow.
There you go, bro.
Yeah.
I think what's powerful is, like, you went out of your comfort zone, and I know you weren't comfortable to take pictures with your top off, or send me pictures with your top off as well.
Yeah.
And the amount of accountability that gives when you know you've got to send a picture of your top off to someone each week and send weigh-ins in as well. And I know when I first worked with my physique coach, because I could never get like rippling abs, I could always get to 12% body fat, but never under there. And the one difference for that wasn't the knowledge he gave me, was the fact that I had to on a Monday take a picture of my top off, send it to him, and as a competition, I wanted to make sure I was going to him every week, looking
something
leaner.
better. Definitely.
Just going out of your comfort zone. Like if you look at yourself, for example, the amount of times you've stepped out your comfort zone, it's made you a better man.
Yeah, 100%. And I recently as well, because I've seen such a change in my physique over the past couple of weeks. Recently, I have had that in my head as well, like where that fucking picture next week's going to be well better than the first one, and I'm going to make sure of it. Do you get what I mean? Yeah.
What's been the specific result for yourself, bro?
I think losing a lot of belly fat has been a big spurring thing for me, because I always had like a bit of a big, drinker's belly. Whereas because I can see that that's reduced, and because so many people are telling me as well, you're looking great, Dexter. I have like quite a lot of fat under my chin as well, which has gone down a lot. So like my jaw's a bit more. And like when people say to me, oh, you've lost loads of weight, and it's like that spurs you on a little bit more. So that's probably, and I feel a lot stronger as well. I've been working on my chest, haven't we? So like, I'm like filling out a little bit more. I can see in myself that I've got a bit more tone and a bit more, like look a bit more muscular.
Definitely, man. That again is the subconscious brain. You've provided yourself with that evidence.
Yeah.
So I'd say the one key difference I see in you now compared to before is that you're just backing yourself when it comes to your fitness journey.
Yeah. I've surprised myself as well, though, to be fair, like running, 10K regular every week with no injury. Like
fast tempo as well.
Yeah, and like I've been enjoying that as well. And then like seeing the weights go up when I'm lifting in the gym as well, and like feeling strong and stuff like that.
Yeah.
My confidence has gone up massively since we've been working together. I can't tell you how much it's gone up. 100%.
Well, mate, I've seen it in front of me and I'm proud of you, bro. But I want to say as well, like something I've noticed that's an amazing asset of yours is your ability to respond. Like, I'm not going to go into details about it, but last week something happened in your life and I didn't expect you to respond the way you did. I thought it would take you a little bit of time to respond to it, but then you crack on and you message me the next day and say, Matt, like, I'm here to fucking respond. And I'd love to know, and I think the audience would as well, like, how in that moment do you find it in yourself to respond to adversity?
I think because like the benefits on your mental health that training has, going to the gym, showing up, doing those runs, the benefits that it helped with your mental health, like I knew that if I didn't do anything on that Wednesday, I was still going to be in this shit mood and things wasn't going to get any better, if you understand what I mean. Whereas I thought if I just go out, grin and bear it, it was the hardest 10K of my life. And that wasn't because of my stamina, if you understand what I mean. It was my mind and like not being in it and not wanting to do it. But then, mate, half an hour after I'd finished that 10K, I was feeling better, 100%. And I thought to myself, tomorrow I'm going to the gym. And like the day after, I woke up and I was feeling good because I was back in the routine and back on track that I thought I would end up, veering off for a week or two.
Yeah.
And like the endorphins, now it makes you feel exercising, especially when you've had results. It's just it's so good for you in terms of your mental health and clarity as well. I think running's a really good therapy.
It is, mate. It is free therapy.
Yeah, basically. Have you ever heard of EMDR therapy?
No.
So it's like a trauma-based therapy that uses lateral movement, and they do it with dots as well. So like you'll be looking at a screen whilst you're having a therapy session, and a dot will be flashing either side, and it's that bilateral movement. Or you can, whilst you're having the therapy, you can tap each side of your legs. And it's really, really good for processing and trauma. And that was the therapist that kind of discovered that, got it through walking and running. Because when you're running and you're just thinking in your own brain and that bilateral movement, they discovered that it helps you process emotions and memories. And I think running is one of the best therapies.
Incredible, man.
One of the best therapies ever. And it's that bilateral movement while you're thinking and like clearing your brain and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think what's powerful there is you said when you were in a rough moment, you chose to do something difficult, which was the 10K run, rather than going and sit on your sofa in the comfort zone. I think that's what we need to do as humans, is go towards difficult things, because if you look at cavemen times or 100 years ago, people just did difficult things on tap. And now in the modern day society, it's so easy to sit on your sofa, be in your comfort zone. So I think we just need to do that as humans more, just go towards the difficult things.
100%. That's why they say like cold water therapy and stuff like that. You know,
I love cold water therapy.
Yeah. It works as well.
Do it every day.
It works, yeah. Freezing cold shower. You do not want to be in that shower, but when you get out of it, I can guarantee that you feel better.
So I have some really long days. So I start work every day at 5 a.m. and sometimes I have to have a call like 6 p.m. So that's like a 13-hour day. Yeah. And I can be feeling terrible. I'll go outside, have a walk, come back and have a cold shower at 4 p.m. I feel like a new man.
Yeah.
The amount of dopamine it gives you a cold shower is unreal.
It's class, innit? Yeah. It's like a buzz. It's a buzz.
It's one of my favourite things to do, bro.
Walking really again. It's that bilateral movement. I swear by it. It's the best therapy. Get out and do a run if you're not gonna. If you're struggling, just go and do a run.
It's difficult. Trust me, it's difficult, but it's free therapy at the same time as well. So, what I'd love to know from you, mate, is what has been a result for you, bro? So, I know you've felt better in your clothes. You're fitting back into mediums now.
Yeah.
You're feeling more confident. But is there any like specific results in your life? Are you feeling more energy? Is there any way your fitness journey is currently changing your life?
Yeah, I think confidence is a massive thing for me as well, especially because I'm on stage and performing in front of people, having pictures taken of me. You know, the lads have got clothing sponsors. You know, I've luckily got clothing sponsors as well. And like, I was always really conscious on stage of my belly and, you know, like my chest and stuff like that and how I looked and you know, like I look bloated. If you look at a picture of me now compared to then, I just looked bloated. And like the confidence that I've got now to walk on stage and wear tight t-shirts and stuff. I was always wearing jackets, never wear a white t-shirt, and like, whereas now I just feel confident in myself. I feel a lot more. Yeah, it's weird because I feel like a bit more masculine in a weird way. If you understand what I mean? I feel a little bit more masculine because like lifting weights all the time and challenging yourself. I don't know if that's because testosterone's gone up, like you say, you know, with training and whatnot. But I just feel a bit more like masculine and confident.
I think you're just getting dopamine from the right place now.
Yeah, probably.
You know, you are the man. You probably, before you joined us, you were saying, I want to do this, but you weren't actually doing it. So you had no evidence that you were the man that you said you wanted to be. Whereas now you've got that clear evidence that you're the man you want to be for.
Yeah. I can do it. And it's, you know, and I know the process now, and I've already proven, like, I've lost over a stone now. Yeah. And it's like, that worked. I feel better. You know, everything in my life's, you know, I've got more confidence. I'm walking on stage better. You know, everybody notices I'm a lot more chirpy.
Less injuries,
yeah.
Stronger.
Very much so, yeah.
Genuinely, it's been a sick journey, bro.
Yeah. Really, and if that's not enough to get people to fucking sign up to this, I don't know what is.
And that's been, what, 4 months?
4 months, mate, yeah.
And, mate, I'm excited to see where it goes to. I'm not going to spoil where the journey's going to go to because, like, mate, that's your journey, bro. But,
yeah.
Mate, it's going to be an exciting chapter. Do you want to give an insight of where you'd like to go with your journey?
Yeah, I suppose. It's like just the fitter that I can get, the better, really. The leaner, the better. Just want to look good and feel good, basically. And you know, have all the puppy fat off me. I say puppy fat, drinking fat, all the beer bellies. I just want to like just look healthy is the main thing. I think when you look at somebody and you think they look healthy, you know, that's what I want for myself.
Love that, man. Is there anyone specifically you'd recommend our coaching to, mate?
Yeah, just probably young men who are not feeling confident, you know, in the way that they look. If they've been drinking a bit too much, the belly's there, or, you know, chest. I can't say chippy tits, can I?
You can say chippy tits, bro, yeah.
Yeah, if you've got chippy tits and a bit of a beer belly and you're not feeling confident and your mates are all looking trim and go in the gym, they're the sort of people, I think, because that was what I was. All my friends around me are ripped as fuck, go in the gym, smashing it, can eat what they want but not put it on. Yeah. And then, like, I'm just that sort of body type and that sort of person that 5 pints and a takeaway, it shows. Do you get what I mean? And over time, it shows. Yeah. So, like, you're looking around at your mates in the pub and you think, look at him there, he's got a big chest. You know, he's fucking looking slim. He had a kebab with me last night. That's not fucking fair. Yeah, I'm just that body type, I think, and that sort of, like, metabolism and person where, you know, it was showing on me. I had a big piss tank. I had chippy tits. Yeah. And, like, I think that those people who are sat there thinking, how do I change this? There's only one way.
Yeah, I hear that, bro. I appreciate you saying that, mate. And what I'd love to get away from that, bro, is, like, since you've joined us, you probably haven't sacrificed as much as you think you have. Like, it's not...
No.
You've achieved some really good results, and this should go for guys not even looking to kind of work with a coach. Like, you don't have to put as much time into this as you think you do.
No.
4 months and you've achieved everything you've achieved, and you're probably putting less time into this. And whenever you wanted to drink, you've been able to drink. So you don't need to sacrifice as much as you think. You do need to sacrifice, but you don't sacrifice as much as you think, and it's not going to be as long as you think either.
Yeah.
You just need to get going.
I think that's what another thing is. It would be a good point as well, especially for people who are like umming and ahhing about joining and stuff. Like before I went to a PT and yourself, I've tried to lose weight loads of times. And what I've noticed is that when you go to somebody like yourself, you don't have to be as restrictive as you think you do. So like for somebody that's not got the knowledge and was trying to lose weight before I met yourself and had a PT, you know, I was probably eating not enough calories, or I wasn't monitoring my calories. I was probably doing a little bit too much of that and not enough of that. Whereas like when I joined you, you was like, right, you're on 2,000 calories a day. I want you to go to the gym 3 times this week or 4 times this week. And I thought, 2,000 calories? How the fuck am I going to lose weight on 2,000 calories, if you understand what I mean? Because people don't have that knowledge that you can actually eat quite well. It's what you eat, knowing exactly the amount of calories that you've ate that day, and then just doing some work in the gym or on a run or something like that. I thought I've been starting on 2,000 calories was ludicrous. I was like, fucking hell, he's going to put me on 1,500 here straight off. Yeah. Whereas like, I lost loads of weight. I was eating 2,000 calories a day and going to the gym 3 times, 4 times a week, and I lost a stone. Near enough, didn't we?
Yeah.
And that's a lot of food in a day, really, 2,000 calories.
It is, bro.
Especially if you're eating like whole foods and the right sort of foods. Yeah. It's, you know, I struggled to eat it.
Yeah. So you just fast track your results. Like you just surrounding yourself with. I've literally been doing it for 10 years, and you're just gaining that wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I think like the reason people are failing who've not had a PT is probably because they've been too restrictive and thought this is too hard.
Yeah.
Or like done too much and not thought about recovery. And like
that's the subconscious brain again. We said, like you were saying, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
You're 29, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I think that'll be a big thing that people need to kind of understand, is you don't have to be as restrictive and do as much as you probably think. You just need the right information and the right direction and somebody to point you in that way.
Yeah. And then whenever you do inevitably fuck up, as every human does, like I'd happily say I fuck up probably at least once a week on my diet. Even when I prep, you know, I went from 78 kilos down to 63 kilos in 2023. And a month before my photo shoot, I booked a trip to Barcelona and ended up drinking beer every day as a coach. So if I can do that and you make a mistake, then you can definitely fucking
100%.
You know, come back from your mistakes as well.
100%. Everybody's gonna fuck up. It's just how you respond
inevitable,
to it.
mate.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't turn a molehill into a mountain, bro.
Exactly.
Right, bro. Let's go into some more casual chat. We've got 5 minutes or so. So, what is it like being in a band and having that as your full-time job, bro?
It's good, really good. There's been difficult times. There has been difficult times, but at the minute, it's, you know, the best it could be. The best it could be. Obviously, like going and playing music and doing the things that you love with your best mates for a living is anyone's dream, isn't it? I don't think people see some side of it that isn't as glamorous and isn't as enjoyable, but I can't sit here and complain and say that it's bad.
You reckon you'll be doing it in 10, 20 years' time?
I hope so, yeah. I hope so, definitely. I think we've got the means to. I think the only thing that would be stopping us is ourselves, if we, you know, because we've got such a good following and like it's going so well. Yeah, I hope we're doing it in 10 years anyway, because I don't want to go back to the day job.
Maybe you'll be Oasis in 20, 30 years.
I hope so, mate.
You never know, mate. You never know, bro. So is there any hobbies you've got outside of music?
You know what? I actually enjoy cooking, like I said before. Like, I really enjoy cooking. I don't do too much of it nowadays because I'm that busy. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I like playing squash. Go and play squash.
Let's give you a game someday.
Yeah. Like because I've been so busy over the past 2 years, my hobbies have took a back burner.
Yeah.
You know, I used to like going fishing. I like fishing, like all that sort of stuff. Like I'm trying to think about the hobbies that I used to do before I was busy, but I'm just kind of too busy at the minute to kind of do much of it. Whereas cooking, you can kind of do at home. I like going and getting ingredients, you know, like going and getting loads of fresh ingredients, looking at a recipe, following it, and just like all that sort of stuff.
I mean, I guess your hobby is working as well, because my job is my hobby.
Yeah,
that's a problem for me because I end up working too much.
Yeah, of course.
Do you find it a problem to switch it off from work at times?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Because we play so many shows as well. The past 2 years have been ridiculous for us. We've played so many shows. We've had 2 albums out. The second album's coming out in 2 weeks. So it's been literally like record the first album, tour, festivals, tour again, record the second album, tour, festivals, and then obviously it's going to come out. So like for the past 2 years has been non-stop. So yeah, it's just all that is literally my hobby, and it's my living as well.
Yeah, it's not a bad job to have though, mate.
No.
What's the best atmosphere you've been? I was at your concert in Birmingham. That was good, but I imagine you've been in a lot better than that. What's the best tour or the best atmosphere you've ever been in?
When we played Glastonbury for the first time, that was unreal, absolutely unreal. So we played the Woodsy stage on the Sunday at 12 o'clock, and we was all thinking, oh, it's 12 o'clock, it's Sunday, everyone's going to be rough, no one's going to come down to the show. And there was about 8,000 people. We walked on stage and there was about 8,000 people just screaming in front of us. There was like flares going off and everything, so that's probably the best atmosphere. And then Oasis last week, when we watched Oasis in Cardiff for the first ever show, that blew me away. The atmosphere in there blew me away.
Love that, man. What's the best festival you've been to? Because you've been to festivals, like actually, as a listener of music, what's your favourite festival of all time?
Oh, it's a difficult one, that. It's a difficult one. Because sometimes with festivals we'll play and then have to leave because we'll have one the day after, or we've got to travel and stuff like that. I really enjoyed the Isle of Wight festival, and we ended up sticking around there for like the full weekend once. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. The first time that we played Kendal Calling Festival, it was our first ever booking on a major festival. We was young and we camped there all weekend, and it was the best time ever because it was like our first major festival that we was playing at and then we got to go to. And then all the festivals in like Europe and stuff like that, Lollapalooza, Rock for the People, like over in Europe the government put money into these sort of things, so like the production and everything about it's just next level, whereas in England there's that many festivals and like it's just whatever the festival can afford is what's there, whereas in like Europe the government have like arts grants that they give to these festivals, so everything's just like next level. Lollapalooza was unreal when we played there in Stockholm. Unreal, the production on it and like the backstage and stuff like that. Ed Sheeran was there, everyone was just like mingling backstage, and like it was like gourmet food as much as you want, everything, like it was just like honestly it was amazing.
Sounds good, Stockholm. I definitely need to get myself out there, bro.
Check it out, it's class.
Final question then, mate. So what's the one festival that you'd love to play at? Obviously you want to go to Glastonbury, I'm sure, but is there any particular festivals or particular things you'd love to do with the band?
You know what? There's that we've done the ones that I would have said a couple of years ago. So like Reading, Leeds main stage. We've done Glastonbury. Benicassim was one, and we've done that now. Lollapalooza was one, and there's another one as well. And I can't think of the name of it. It's a massive one in America, really big festival in America. I forgot the name of it, but that's on my bucket list to do. And the Pyramid stage at Glastonbury is like. Once I played the Pyramid stage at Glastonbury, but I think that's like I've achieved everything now. Yeah.
Sick, bro.
So I'm looking forward to that.
It's gonna
happen.
It's gonna happen. Well, Dexter.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate what you've done for me as well, man.
No,
you're
really welcome, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you guys for listening. If you don't already follow this guy, then what are you doing? Go and
likewise.
Absolute legend.
Get off the couch, get rid of those chippy tits. Join Morph with Matt.
Thank you for watching, guys.